What you guys got another video. Windows 11 has got even worse now, and that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. There's been quite a few changes with Windows 11 and there's more coming in the future. So how bad can Windows 11 get? Well, by Microsoft's track record, I think Windows 11 could get even worse than what it's been before. So I'm rocking Windows 11 Pro 25H2 and I've had quite a few issues myself. Now, I understand there's been quite a few people out there that probably haven't had issues, but the majority of people are having issues, and we're going to be discussing that in today's video after a quick word from today's video sponsor. Today's video sponsor is CD Key Sales. Choose the product you want to use and buy. Use my promo code R09 and apply that to your order. Choose the change button and then paste in your key. Choose next and then click activate. And you've just now got rid of that annoying watermark and got a full version of Windows. So let's first talk about the new start menu that is coming to Windows 11. You'll be getting this very soon. If not in the next few days, you should be getting the new Windows 11 start menu. I'm going to use the Vive tool to get the start menu now so I can show you exactly what you can expect and what you can and what you can't do with this start menu. So the start menu you've got right now is this one right here. I'm going to quickly restart the PC so the brand new start menu will be able to be installed on the system, because I've just used the Vive tool to basically get that installed on the system. But the new start menu should be rolled out to you guys in the next few days, and you should be having this monstrosity that Microsoft called a start menu. And this is the final result. This is exactly what you can get here. So first, let's be clear on what you can't do with this new start menu. On this new start menu, you're not going to be able to create new categories. So if you want to create new categories down the bottom, you can't. Microsoft thought it would be a great idea for you to use the categories that you have already there. You can't move apps between any of the categories. You're not allowed to do that on this new start menu. You can't rename the categories at all, and you can't resize the menu itself. So they are the four main things that you can't do, which is pretty much everything that you want to do with a start menu. So well done, Microsoft, for that. Now, of course, there is a few little customizations which are quickly glossed over in one of my previous videos, but basically, in a nutshell, I think it's hideous. It's massive. You can't do anything with it. I mean, really, what are you going to do here? You can change the categories to list and other things like that. There is the search at the top, which was there before. But really, if you can't rename anything and you can't move categories and change categories and add new categories, then what are you going to do with something like this? You've got this new Bing search thing that was in the previous versions, but they've changed the name of it now. So you will need to remove that if you don't want web search showing up every time you search for something on the search box there. But basically, yeah, I mean, you've got a pinned row of apps up the top. If you've got a pinned row of apps, why would you need apps down the bottom? It's just pointless. I mean, why would you do that? And a big long list of apps when you've got your pinned most used apps at the top. In the categories, you're going to have to do multiple clicks to get to an icon if you use the categories for all of your little icons for your applications. You can click on these. You can't rename them. You can't customize them. You can't do anything here. All you can do is basically just use what's there. And as you add your programs in, of course, they will be added in to categories. But at the end of the day, what are they working on? They've been working on this start menu for God knows how long. I was previewing early releases of this start menu months and months ago, and this is basically their final result of what they've come up with. It's cluttered. There's just too much going on. There's far too many icons in there, and most of them are duplicates have already got pinned up the top. So Windows 11 is a mess. It really is. And this has been going on non-stop. Microsoft have only just fixed the decade-old update and shutdown bug. That's been going on for a decade, and they've just fixed it. I mean, really, Microsoft, they have to really start pulling their finger out, because if they don't, they are going to lose a hell of a lot of users, because at the moment, a lot of users are still stuck on Windows 10 because they refuse to use this abomination of what they call Windows 11. It really is. It's just not even finished. And yet Microsoft pump out more and more features that people don't want. They don't listen to their user base. People just simply don't want half of the stuff that they're pumping out. Copilot is embedded in just about every application. You got adverts growing by the day. And Microsoft have even openly confirmed that Windows 11 update since Windows 24H2 July 2025 update has caused issues. And it's caused multiple issues, breaking lots of different items like the start menu, experience host, search, system settings, taskbar, Explorer. And I myself have had loads of problems with Windows 11 25H2 like taskbar disappearing, freezing, random freezing on the screen with applications. We had the duplicating task manager. How did that slip through the net and manage to get out into the wild? You've got multiple symptoms occurring with systems. And you can see here the summary of this update that they released. And it's massive. There's massive amounts of problems. So Microsoft have openly said they've got loads of different problems with Windows 11. And rather than fix these, they keep just pumping out more features that are breaking even more. And you can see here shell components. These are core components of the operating system, which are to do with Explorer.exe, shellhost.exe, start menu, experience host, application crashes, Explorer running but no taskbar window. And there's just loads of problems with it. And they go and try and fix issues. And every time they try to fix one of these issues, they break 5 other things. And of course, it's so frustrating. And me, myself, I've literally gone to Windows 11 25H2 and I'm just having loads of problems. Now, of course, not everyone is having these problems. Now, I've made videos on some of these problems of like freezing on the screen. And just when you think you might have a memory issue, you find out other people on the Discord server who I'm talking to are having exactly the same problems. And yet you go to their known issues website and it doesn't say anything about these issues. But it's obviously Windows 11 25H2 in the latest release they've got. Now, some people might not use certain features. I've had videos on YouTube freezing for no reason with the same problem. So there's their resolution right here. We are working on a resolution and we will provide more information when it's available. So in other words, you're just going to have to wait. But here's a workaround while we're waiting. And this is the problem. Nothing gets fixed. And this could be an ongoing problem for a really long time because, like I said, they've only just fixed a decade-old update and shutdown bug, which is when you updated Windows and you went to shut down, it used to restart. And that was around for a decade. People don't want all this AI junk. They're embedded in the operating system. They don't want all the adverts. They go through and have to de-bloat the system every single time because they're pumping in so much rubbish that people have to uninstall. So many settings have to be turned off because of all the telemetry and other nasty stuff that is going on. Now, if you look at the known issues here, there's hardly any for 25H2, which makes it sound like it's a super duper great build. But it's just carried on from Windows 11 24H2, which was also plagued with multiple problems. And yes, there's going to be that person that says, I'm using it right now and I've got no issues. Well, maybe you're not doing the things that most people do on their computers, because I've had nothing but trouble with 24H2 and 25H2, and yet 23H2 was problem free. And yet you would think that Microsoft, in their infinite wisdom, would say, hey, we've got a good working build here. Why don't we build on this and keep this running for a little bit longer instead of killing it off, which they've done. And now we're ending up with loads of problems that we're getting right now. So yeah, that's my big thing with it. If they want people to come over to Windows 11, they need a stable build that is working properly. They need to remove a lot of the filler that they've got in it that no one wants and make things easy, keep it simple, and people will use it. I really had high hopes for Windows 11 25H2, and I was hoping that it was going to be an improved version of 24H2 because they've ironed out all the bugs. Instead, you're still getting the same old problems And unfortunately, it's really driving me nuts. I need a working system. I don't need all this stuff that is running. And they even got it in Office. They've got it everywhere. And this thing, what they've done here, I mean, it's an improvement on the previous one, but not by much. And again, there was other options available. And if they can do it, why don't Microsoft just implement something as simple as what, say, Start 11 have done? Instead of putting all your time and effort and embedding Copilot in your notepad when no one really wants it. So this is Start 11 right here. Makes all of the problems go away. I've got it set like this. There's many different setups you can do for it. I have all my useful apps on one side, and on the right hand side I have all of the locations on the computer that I like to navigate to very quickly. Simple, clean, and super easy to set up. You can change it to whatever color scheme you like. You can resize it, and you can even create groups that Microsoft have done on that latest menu. You can create your own groups down the bottom here. And I've made an older video on this if you want to check that out. If you want to see a more up-to-date video on this where you can customize it and make your own tabs and groups here for all your little apps that you like to keep organized, then by all means, let me know in the comments section down below. But this is the way forward. If you want to use Windows 11 and you don't want to use that big start menu, then use something like Start 11. Yes, you have to pay for it, but you know what? Sometimes it's peace of mind. And unfortunately, I was using 23H2 right up until now. It's reached end of life, which means I now have to force to use either 24H2 or 25H2, or I have to go back to Windows 10 and use that for as long as I can. And yeah, just install Linux. I can hear the little Linux fanboys saying it right now. And unfortunately, it just doesn't cut the mustard. Let's face it. It doesn't do what Windows does. And it just doesn't play all of the games that you can play on Windows. So if you've got a 20-year-old computer and you just don't want to spend any money on a new computer, then yeah, maybe Linux is for you. But it's not for me. I'm a power user and I use a lot of things that Linux just simply can't do, unfortunately. So that is just off the table. And a lot of people are in the same boat. So it's not for everyone. Anyway, with that said, I'm starting to ramble and I'm starting to rant. So I shall call this one done. My name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Just want to say a quick shout out to my YouTube members. I appreciate the support and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.